And welcome to the UIS Prairie Stars Coaches Show. I am Tony Black on Campus Channel 65. Joining me today are the student athletes of UIS. The first, the volleyball player, Rebecka Pruemer. Becca, you guys started off your season about 2 weeks ago. Talk about your thoughts so far on the 2011 season.
Well, we opened season playing down in Texas, and we played some really good competition, and we stuck with them for the most part, but we just didn't pull through. But it was still a good tournament, and then we went to Drury last weekend, and it was really good. They were a lot tougher than we anticipated.
You played Quincy this week, and now you're going to play Maryville and Umsel also this weekend. Talk about this week's opponents and what your hopes are for this week.
Well, Quincy was really good. They were a lot better than I thought too, but we stuck with them really good. We were very close to beating them. And we played Maryville and Umsel, and I guess just anticipate a win and hope for the best.
Now you're the setter on the volleyball team.
Yes.
And you've only been setting now for a couple of years. You weren't a setter in high school.
No.
Talk about that transition to being a setter. You are the control of the ball.
Well, in high school, I was a middle because I was one of the tallest on my team because we weren't very tall at all. And going from there to Lincoln Land at the JUCO, it was just completely different because going from being a middle kind of right side to full-on setter, you're going from being told what to do to telling people what to do. And it's hard to find that way to control people, but I finally got into the groove of it. I feel like I'm doing okay with it now.
Now, setting, it seems like you just pop the ball up in the air and you just let your hitters attack. How do you directionalize your sets and the hitters know where they're going?
Well, we call out plays before, like if we want a 4, like just a number which says what the set is. And then it all starts with the pass from the serve receive or defense depending on what you're doing, and you just kind of, you don't really pop it up there, but you kind of just set it up and try to get it to the right spot and hope they can get it through the block.
Talk about your teammates and how you guys have gelled so far this season. Yesterday you got to play some bags.
Yeah.
Talk about the fun that you got to play and how the bonding is going with the teammates.
Bonding is great. Like, we're all really good friends. There haven't been any problems, nothing. We went to one of our teammates' houses last night to have supper before we played, and her parents brought out the bags game, and we all kind of had a little tournament to see who could win. I don't remember who won, obviously, so I lost, but it was a good time, and we're all doing really good out there now. Like, it's good.
What kind of things do you guys do away from volleyball with each other?
A lot of Buffalo Wild Wings, actually, and going out and just hanging out, helping each other with homework, which sounds kind of nerdy, but we do, and then going to each other's houses and apartments and just hanging out.
What has Angie done for you guys as a coach and as adults to help you guys out?
She's helped us do a lot of things. She tells us what we need to get done. She kind of puts not a control, but like I can't think of the word. Set in stone kind of thing that we need to do, and she teaches us very good. I can't even, what is the word then?
That's okay.
I don't know, but she's really good with it.
You know, going back to your volleyball season, there's still a long way to go. What are your hopes now for the rest of the way?
Well, I'm hoping to get a win and followed by many more wins, but I just want to have fun and do good and hope for the best, really.
Like we said, just continuing on with the season this year. The West Division is considered not the very good division between the East and the West. So how are you going to, when you play the East opponents of Indianapolis and St. Joe and Parkside and Lewis, those 4 Eastern Division teams, what are your hopes against those 4?
I'm hoping we annihilate them and show them that we are the better one.
And just, you weren't, like you said, you weren't a setter. You talk about how Lincoln Land taught you how to be a setter.
Well, my coach was Jim Dietz, and he would either during practice or a little bit after practice, he would have me do reps and just keep setting, and he'd work on my footwork and like how my hands need to be, how I need to square up to like where I'm setting. And we ended up doing a 5-1 where I was the only setter. So I kind of had, I was forced to either be able to set or get pulled from the game, and I was not about to get pulled from the game. So I learned how to set really quick.
Now you came over here to UIS with one of your teammates from Lincoln Land.
Mm-hmm.
Was that help and ease in the transition?
Oh, it was a lot of help. Megan, she's always been there. She's been my best friend since we started at Lincoln Land. So now it's kind of just another chapter in our lives, and it's going good so far. We still live together, and last year we had 5 roommates in a little 3-bedroom apartment, so it was a little cramped. So I'm surprised that we can still be as good as we are, but so it's good. I'm glad she's here.
Now, do you have any good fights that you've had with Megan?
Any fights? We bicker a lot, but it's just the typical roommate bickers and who's right, who needs to take out the trash and the dishes and do all that kind of stuff. This season, last year the volleyball team had 10 wins. Like you said, you haven't got a lot of wins so far this year, or no wins. But what is the real expectation for you this year? I'm wanting to have a winning record and hopefully go on as far as we can, nationals, all that kind of good stuff. I'm hoping we can get that, so I'm just really pushing as hard as I can out on the court to make that happen and make it possible.
What are you doing with your teammates to make sure that you guys don't get in too far of a funk now? Well,
out on the court, I try to stay as positive as I can and try to not control people, but control the mood out on the court. Like if somebody shanks the ball or does something bad, I try to tell them to shake it off and keep pushing and just try to keep everybody's hopes or motivation up instead of going down.
All right, I want to thank you for joining me, Becca. I'm Tony Black. We'll be back. You're on the UIS Prairie Stars Coaches Show. And welcome back to the UIS Prairie Stars Coaches Show on Campus Channel 65. I'm Tony Black. Joining me now is Abby Vorreyer of the women's golf team. Abby had one of the most spectacular things happen to her last weekend, 2 weekends ago rather, a hole-in-one. Talk about the hole-in-one and what you did after you hit the hole-in-one.
The hole-in-one, it was pretty special. I don't know, I didn't actually get to see it, but I knew it had to be close, and all of a sudden I just seen all the parents raise their hands, start cheering. I was like, somehow the word got over to me that it was a hole-in-one. I had nobody to celebrate. My coach wasn't even at the hole. She was at the next hole, so I had to celebrate on my own. It's kind of embarrassing.
Now, in that tournament, it actually was just 18 holes, or 36 holes rather, sorry. There was 3 hole-in-ones hit in the final day. Have you ever heard of that happening before?
Never. And the bad thing was there was 2 hole-in-ones in our actual group, so we got witness 2 that day. So that was pretty special. Never had that happen.
Now you and I were talking in the spring, and I asked you what you'd do if you ever got a hole-in-one. Now, and you said you would buy drinks. Have you bought everybody a soda yet?
Not yet. I haven't got around to it. It's on my to-do list.
Now, actually, you just played your second round yesterday, Tuesday. Talk about what you did over at Jacksonville, over at the Links again.
Me personally, I kind of struggled, but as a team, we did really well. We had some people step up that have struggled in the past. They stepped up. They helped carry the team in the time we needed it, and I don't know, we did really well. We won our first tournament. It was exciting.
Nicole has been really optimistic about this year. You guys have 8 on your roster. a little bit better than the spring of just 5. So has that added to the competition when you guys practice?
It's definitely helped us have to improve, go out there and practice, and everybody's kind of used it as like competition in order to better themselves. It's definitely had a huge impact on our team, as you could see in our scores have gotten a lot better this year so far.
Now, you were coached by Nicole Inkle since high school. Jenna has also been, Jenna Fox has been coached by Nicole since high school. How easy has that been for you two to learn from Nicole on the golf course?
It's definitely been helpful. It's been an advantage in knowing that, you know, she's more than just a coach, she's a friend. She'll always have my back. She'll always be there to help me when I need it the most. That's kind of part of the reason I followed her over here, is because we've had such a close friendship, and she knows how to have fun, that's for sure. So it's been great.
Now, have you had any good off the course bonding moments yet this year together?
Not yet. Our first bonding moment kind of got rained out, so we're looking to make that up. I don't want to tell everybody what we're gonna do, but it kind of got rained out. We'll just say that.
We're gonna go back to Nicole's house and
maybe.
Now, for those who don't know, they like to TP Nicole's house, which is okay. Nicole does not get mad at that. So how have you guys, since it got rained out, what are you guys doing together?
We haven't done a whole lot. We took advantage of the outing that we do, the women's night out. It was kind of a good way for everybody to get to know each other and like a social event. It was like not really a whole lot of golf related, but it was nice because like there was a dance party afterwards, so it was kind of relaxing setting.
And this weekend is a big tournament coming up down at the University of Southern Indiana. You're playing in the Screaming Eagle Classic. A lot of teams down there. So what are your hopes for this weekend?
I'm hoping we'll be competitive. I think we got a good team, a solid team to take down there. I'm looking forward to it. I think we should be able to play pretty well. I mean, we have the experience this year that for the first time we have three seniors, so that's a huge difference.
Now, what are your personal hopes and goals for this coming year?
I'm hoping we should have a solid year. I think we should definitely fare well against the rest of the teams in the conference. I'd like to see our team continue to improve from tournament to tournament. I think we definitely have it in to like finish towards the top of the pack, really.
Golf is broken up into 2 seasons, a fall and a spring. So there's some time off in between the end of the fall season and the spring season. So what do you guys do in between that off time to get ready for your championship season, which really counts in the spring?
We do a lot of workouts, whether it be lifting, staying in shape, conditioning. We'll do hitting inside in a net. It's difficult to do, but at least gives you the motion of swinging, whether you can't really see it, but it does give you that feeling that you are outside, but obviously with the weather you can't be outside.
Now, when you're indoors hitting, do you feel the ball come off the tee bad if you're inside like you do outside?
Me personally, I do. I can tell when it's a good swing or not just by the way you can feel it, but some of the girls on our team kind of struggle with it, so we do have like a launch monitor which like kind of like projects where the ball would go in different ways. It kind of gives you kind of like an average distance how far you're hitting it, so that helps too.
In a round, what's the lowest? Or I mean, obviously you want to go as low as possible, but what is one of your personal goals to get a low score?
I'd like to see myself average in the 70s. I think I'm definitely capable of it. I think we've started off pretty well. I think as long as we continue to practice and improve, me personally, I think I should definitely be right around there.
You do own the school record for lowest round, which is a 75 now. It was broken in that same tournament where you hit the hole-in-one. So talk about that as being a record holder.
It's a record. I personally would love to see anyone on our team beat it. I mean, it's not a big deal for me, but I definitely know that people on our team are capable of shooting lower, so it's a good benchmark, but I definitely think people could beat it.
Now, you broke it was your teammate's record, it was Paige's record, and Paige had a 76 on Tuesday, so talk about was there any kind of rivalry there with Paige when you broke her record?
Kinda. She was happy for me. I know she was. She made it loud and clear that she was excited for the team, to see the team do well, and me personally do well since we are such close friends. But yeah, you could definitely see a little like, man, she beat me, but it's all in good fun.
And anything that you're going to do on the golf course this weekend that you hope to see personally?
I don't know. I hope to continue to shoot right around the 70s, high 70s, low 80s, right around there. It'd be a different golf course we haven't played yet, so that definitely will be a factor, but it should be fun. It should be interesting.
All right, I want to thank you, Abby, for joining me on the UIS Prairie Stars Coaches Show. Next, the goalkeeper from the women's soccer team, Kelli Kubal. And welcome back to the UIS Prairie Stars Coaches Show on Campus Channel 65. I'm Tony Black. Joining me now is the goalkeeper for the women's soccer team, Kelli Kubal. Kelli, this season has gotten off to a good start. You started out 2-0. You lost, unfortunately, to UMSL on Sunday. Talk about your early success so far.
Well, it's in part to having a full team for the first time, really. We've had a lot of players this year. We've actually have a full team, and everybody has had some sort of either high school or club background. So we're starting off on the right foot, coming into preseason ready, and just getting together as a team pretty early in the season and knowing that we have goals and just starting out on the right foot.
In the first game, you had 11-0 whitewashing of Oakland City. You didn't face a shot. How tough is that as a goalie to get ready just in case there is a shot?
It's always difficult in a game like that, but at the same time, being back there and as a senior and a captain, you're trying to tell people where they need to be and make sure people are doing the right things even though it isn't the greatest game. So you kind of keep your head in the game by making sure everybody else is in the game. But there definitely is lulls in the game where it's like, maybe something will get through and I'll get to do something, but the less I do, the better it means my team's doing. So.
Now, you and Jessica Jamie are have been here all 4 years. You started the program together. Talk about what you and Pete and Jessica have gone together.
We talk about it all the time. I can't believe it's been 4 years. It has been night and day since we came here. I mean, I came here, brought her with me during spring break of our high school season, and we came here and met Pete. Knew it wasn't going to be easy for the first couple of years, knew that coming in, but we wanted to be a part of something. We thought it was going to be a neat opportunity to help Pete make a program here, something that is going to only get better. And you can see it just from where we've gone from the first year to now. And it's really exciting to kind of end our 4 years on a high note here, starting off on a really good foot and winning some games. And it's really exciting for us to see where the program has started and where it's going.
This year on the offensive end, you guys have put up some goals. You scored 11, you scored 2. UMSL, it was a little bit of a struggle, but talk about your offensive teammates.
It's fabulous. Erin Egolf started it off last year, and Jessie Jamie getting the first GLBC goal last year, which was really neat. Losing our senior Casey Thorpe up top was a hardship, but Erin stepped up, and a lot of the younger girls are too. We've got some great talent on the team that's really young. And people like Kim and Karen, they're all stepping up and really getting shots on net. Caitlin, our other backup goalkeeper, scored the great goal the other day, just total hustle goal, and it was amazing. And it's just really neat to see our team kind of switch from a very strong defensive team that we were last year to a more explosive offense that people aren't going to be ready for in the GLBC and aren't going to expect from us.
Against UMSL, the goal that was scored on you, it was just out of your reach. Talk about how disappointing and how heartbreaking that is for a goalie that you just can't get there.
Yeah, it really is, and especially since it wasn't really UMSL made a great play. It was just unlucky for us, and it's a play where you get frustrated and upset, but you can't get mad at anybody because it was just unlucky. A deflection, you're not going to really be able to do much about, and it's nobody's fault. It was just an unlucky goal, and they had opportunities in that game that they should have scored, and same with us. So that game was a heartbreaker, but we played really hard. We outplayed them for a majority of the game, and just an unlucky play, which can happen in soccer when it's such a low-scoring game.
And now going back to a lucky goal, it was Maryville shot it from about 40
Yeah.
yards out. How does that happen?
I don't think anybody knew the girl got the shot off. I kind of got screened on it, and by the time one of our defenders had turned around, I didn't even see it come in, and then it just kind of dropped and was there, you know, a half a second too late, which is really upsetting, but it happens, and, you know, we came back in a Cinderella fashion there at the end of the game, so that was a neat ending too for our home crowd as well.
This weekend, you got a couple of tough teams against Lewis and Parkside. You've seen those guys for now 3 years in a row. Talk about what you hope for against Lewis and Parkside.
Well, the neat thing about Lewis and Parkside is me and Jesse Jamie are up from north Chicago suburbs, and Lewis is 20 minutes away from us, and Parkside's, you know, maybe an hour away from us. I know a lot of girls that go to both schools. We get a little talk that goes in between. Some of the girls we don't like from high school and club. So Friday is definitely a little bit of a grudge match for us. You know, we have something to prove in the GLVC and to this team and the coach, who doesn't always say nice things about us and always likes to scout our games, even though that's not allowed. And so we really have something to prove there, and it'll be neat because for the first time in women's history, again, making some milestones here, we get to play at 7:30 underneath the lights. So that's really exciting for our team, and, you know, it's one game at a time, and we're waiting for Friday, and it's really exciting.
Now, what are your hopes for going on into the 2011 season?
Well, looking back at 2010, we lost 6 games by 1 goal. You make those 6 games or a few of those games into wins, and we make it into the postseason. So a big thing for us this year is to make those 6 wins and the wins that we had last year W's, and then, you know, see if we can get into the postseason and make a run for it. So it's really exciting that we actually have a chance this year to see some tournament play.
Now, I've asked the other twos about team bonding. What do you guys do away from the field to team bond?
Erin Egolf and her family had a little pasta party for us, and our usual thing is catchphrase, which now with a big team is just pretty much people just yelling out things. We don't even have teams anymore, which is always neat because people come up with some pretty interesting things. And 2 weeks ago, me and Jesse Jamie had the team all out to our house and made our roommates cook for them. So pasta parties, and I hate to admit it, little Jersey Shore on Thursday nights. So some girls will come over for that. And just things like that, trying to get people together, whether it's watching movies or TV or, you know, just having pasta dinner before games.
Now you guys all get along off the field together,
Yeah.
and it's all the good team bonding.
Yeah, yes.
So what is the appeal to Jersey Shore?
I have no idea. It's probably to watch people screw up worse in their lives than we are. So that's about it. There's no real purpose to that show.
All right, now getting back to the soccer, what are your personal goals for this year?
Well, each year we're looking to cut down the goals that we score on personally. Last year we made a big dent in the amount from the year before, and I want to do the same this year and get a couple more shutouts as well.
You've only allowed 2 goals early on, so is that a big credit to your defense? And
Yeah, and it'll only get better. I mean, like I said, we have pretty much a whole new defense from last year. I mean, Jesse Jamie is pretty much and her and Cameron. I mean, we don't have the same 4 all the time. We're just trying to get, you know, 4 people in the back that work well with each other and know what's going on. I mean, she might not even stay in the back. She's such a well-diverse player. She might go into midfield for us. Might have to bring. We've got a couple freshmen in the back too. So it's just people getting comfortable and not worrying that, you know, they're playing college soccer. It's still the same game, 11v11, same size field. So it's just people getting comfortable, and they've done a pretty good job so far working together, hearing direction from me, doing what Pete's asked of them, and our defense is only going to get stronger as the year goes on, so hopefully I see less and less shots.
now Pete credits you a lot for being a coach on the field. You give direction a lot, as you know, anybody can hear you in the stands. So talk about just do the freshmen have a hard time with the goalkeeper screaming out direction?
I feel like most people, as if they've played on high-level teams, you know, they either have a captain in the back or a goalkeeper that's going to tell them what to do. And I, you know, preach that really hard in the beginning of preseason. I'm going to scream and yell at you. It's not because I don't like you, and it's not because you're doing bad things. It's just things that need to be done, and you can't really say please and thank you when you got, 2 seconds to do something. So anything I say, it's not personal. It's just trying to get things done on the field.
All right, I want to thank you, Kelli, for joining us. And until next week, so long, everybody.